What's up everybody, and welcome to a new tutorial. And I know it's been a minute since I first posted the introduction video, but I'm ready to go ahead and get started on the series of creating a tropical island inside of Unreal Engine. So first things first, we're going to be working on the palm trees. So go ahead and inside of Blender, press Shift A and add a cylinder. Now for a low poly palm tree, I'm going to set the amount of vertices to 8, as this looks the best for low poly. Alright, now I'm going to go into front orthographic view by pressing 1 and 5, and I'm going to bring up the cylinder and then scale it down, just like this. And now go ahead and bring in a character for a point of reference, just to see how big the palm tree should be. So here I have my blocky character, and I'm just going to go ahead and scale the base to about the width of the character. Okay, now what I'm going to do is bring the stump down a little bit and add a loop cut by pressing Ctrl R and then right clicking, and then I'm going to select the top vertices here and make the stump just like that. Okay, and now just select the top vertices here, press Shift D, duplicate them, press P and separate them by selection. Now select those vertices and go ahead and extrude them and scale them out. Alright, now I'm just going to bring the character over and I'm going to extrude it up and in. Okay. Bring it up just a little bit like that. And now I'm going to click Add Modifier and I'm going to add an array. And instead of having the value of 1 here, set it to 0 and then set the Z value to 1. Okay, so as you can see, what we want actually is to set the scale of the top equal to the scale of the bottom. So just gonna bring it in, just like that. And I can set this also to 2.9. And there, that looks good. So now I can increase the count to whatever I want. Here I have, I forgot the values, but I think it's 9 or 11, I believe. So I'm just going to set this to 11, make a taller palm tree. Alright, so this just gives us our base, or our trunk and our base here. And now what we can do is go ahead and start adding in the leaves. So to do this, I'm going to add a plane and go into top view pressing 7, scale down on the y-axis, bring it in. Oh, that is not what I wanted to do. Alright, bring it in just like this, like this. Okay. That looks good. I actually think it should be a little further out. Just like that. Bring it up. Okay. Now go ahead and add a loop cut down the middle, just like that. And go ahead and add three loop cuts. Should be sufficient. And then scale the loop cuts out on the y-axis, just like that. And then the middle loop cut, you can scale it even further out. And then bring the front one all the way up like that. Okay, now what we can do is bring up this middle section here. And then bring the whole front down. Okay. And then select, go ahead and make a duplicate of this, just in case you mess up on this step. So select these front vertices here, and press R press O first, my bad, press R, and then get a ring about this size, and just go ahead and rotate it, just like this. Okay, and there we go. We have pretty much a palm tree frond, and we can go ahead, bring it up, and I'll be right back. Hold on. Alright guys, I'm back. Sorry about that. Anyway, now that you have your palm tree frond here, go ahead and go to top view, select all, press Ctrl A, and then rotation and scale. Drag out a new tab, do the UV image editor, press U, and then unwrap or Smart UV project, whichever one you want. Smart UV project generally doesn't work for very simple things like this, but just click unwrap, press Alt, select an edge, and press SY0. My bad. Be sure to turn off proportional editing by pressing O again. So now SY0, you straighten that connection out. SY0, you straighten that connection out. SY0. Okay, now SX0. SX0, SX0. Essentially what I'm doing is I'm just straightening out the UVs, and it makes the final result look better if you were adding a texture here. But since we're just using a solid color, it doesn't really matter, but it's still good practice. Okay, now you can go ahead and close that out, and click on the Materials tab, click New Material, and change the name to palm frond. Okay, and now go ahead and press Shift D and rotate it 90 degrees, just like that. Alright, and now you can select this, either of the leaves, duplicate it, rotate it 45 degrees. First, actually, you should rotate it up 55, and then you can rotate it 45 degrees. Now, duplicate that, rotate it 180, and then duplicate these and rotate them 90. To duplicate, you just press Shift D. And there we go, we have these palm fronds. And I think they look a little big, so I am going to scale them down a little bit. Now it looks really nice. And we have all of these have their UV maps. They all share the same material, which is why I did that before duplicating them. Okay, now just select the trunk and go ahead and apply the array. And then what you can do is Control A, rotation scale, U, and unwrap. Go ahead and select the Materials tab and call it palm underscore frond. Oh, my bad, not frond. Palm bark. Just like that. And you can also UV unwrap the stump as well and change it to bark. Just like that. Okay, and now you're ready for exporting. So to export, just select your entire palm tree. Click File, Export FBX, Selected Objects, and then choose whatever folder you want. And now I'll meet you guys in Unreal Engine. Alright guys, I'm in Unreal Engine, and I already imported my palm tree. As you can see, I've imported many of my palm trees, and basically I am going to set up the materials. And in order to do this, you're going to need to select the two materials that you created, and that was palm bark and palm leaf, or palm frond, I believe. So inside of your palm frond texture, go ahead and open that up and change the value, create a green value to that of this hex code right here. So use this code. I'll let you guys copy it. Okay. And that's the color that I found worked best for the fronds. As you can see here, they look pretty nice. Okay. And then add or decrease the roughness by adding a constant. To do that, you press 1 on your keyboard and you get this constant, and then set that value to 0.9. That's what I found best, and it makes it more rough and therefore less shiny. Okay, now over here in your material options, go ahead and change the shading model to two-sided foliage, and then activate two-sided. And then what you want to do is add a multiply node by just pressing M and left clicking on your keyboard, and hook up your color to that multiply and set the constant B value to 0.8, and then hook that up to the subsurface color. Okay, and that will basically just make sure that you retain the same nice green color on the bottom. Alright, and now for the wind that you see here, you can see how the leaves are jittering around. To do that, go ahead and right click and add a simple grass wind node, just like this, and hook up your additional WPO to your color, and then create two constants, again pressing 1 on the keyboard, and plug those in to your wind weight and wind intensity. Once you've done that, you can go ahead and plug in the result to your world position offset. And go ahead and delete these, or sorry, I'm just going to delete them because I already have it here. And you can set these constants to whatever value you want. And go ahead and click apply, and then save. And now your palm leaves should be looking pretty good. Now, if you look at your tree, you'll see this is what the palm leaves look like. And then you can also start working on the palm bark texture. And so to do that, go ahead and select your palm bark, and this is the color that I found best, or that I found worked the best. Here's the hex linear code, so just use that code and plug it into your color. Okay, and then in your specular, go ahead and add a constant, again just pressing 1 on the keyboard and left clicking, and then set the constant value to 0.1. Alright, and go ahead and add another constant and set its value to 1 and hook it up to the roughness. And I went ahead and set this to two-sided foliage just for the subsurface color because I liked the way it looked when it had the subsurface color applied. So I went ahead and added a multiply node, set the constant B to 0.5, hooked up the color into the multiply, and then plugged that into the subsurface color. Okay, go ahead and save that. And then your tree should look exactly like this one. So that's going to be today's tutorial. I appreciate you guys for checking it out, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.